Hey everyone, today we're going to be tier listing the Survivor Campfire animations, and there's no better time than to do it right now because we got the Bone Chill event going on and the lobby looks amazing. And so I figured, why not do it right now? And we're starting with Dwight. I'm not going to lie, I like Dwight's. It's basically his lobby animation repeated in sitting form around a campfire. But I just, you know me, I'm endeared to Dwight, so I'm probably going to put him B tier for this. A good starting point, I'd say. I feel good about that. All right, next up we have Meg, and she seems much more relaxed than she does in her lobby animation, actually. Put her around a campfire, apparently she chills out quite a bit. She does look around a little bit frantic, but for the most part, she just kind of shifts around a little bit. Looks like she's relaxing by a campfire. She's looking up into the sky and she's checking out the area, and she just seems much more relaxed for some reason. She's not just looking around her immediate vicinity. She's kind of taking in the sights of the entity's realms, I guess. So, I don't know. Hers is decent. Do I want to go as high as B tier, though? I don't know. I'm going to start her in C tier, just because I do think there are some that are more interesting. All right, next up we have Claudette. Now, she looks appropriately cold, just like she did in her lobby animation. Kind of rubbing her knees like she's self-soothing a little bit. But it kind of looks like that's all she does. I don't know. It's fitting for her, for sure. I don't know how I want to rank it, though. It's not super interesting. So I'm going to put her in D, just because she just rubs her knees, and that's about it. And looks cold. So nothing too interesting there. So I'm gonna, she'll be our first D tier. All right, good old Jake Park, who is also appropriately dressed for this weather. So far, he just kind of sits there. Okay, he scoots around a little bit, adjusts his posture, just kind of stares off into the distance. Okay, now he looks around a little bit, adjusts again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think his might be even more boring than Claudette's. I don't know. Put him in D tier as well. All right, next up we have Nia. And Nia just looks bored. She looks bored to tears. So not interested. Just looking down, resting her head. Looks around a little bit. She's kind of looking directly at the player. Just slightly creepy. Yeah, I guess she glances around a little bit, but then she's really bored. Not frightened at all. Not engaged, just pretty bored. So, I mean, if she was the entity, that would make sense. Just saying. But alas, I don't know. Hers is boring to me. I'm gonna put her D tier as well. All right, next up we have Bill. So Bill's sitting on the ground, kind of leaning back against the log. Stretches a little, arms folded. Just looks like this is not his first rodeo. Looks around. He's got the cigarette. I mean, I like the relaxed posture. He's seen a lot of crud before, so he's this is not super nerve-wracking for him. I don't know. I like his better. It's not super interesting, but I like his better. So I'm gonna put him in B with Dwight. His is one of my favorites so far, just because he's like all chilled out and just leaned up against the log, and he's like, "Don't worry, we got this." All right, next up we have David. So he sits like I sit around a campfire, just kind of leaned in, warming his hands a little bit, looking around, sitting. Leans in again, warms his hands again. Okay, so I think that's the loop there. I don't know. His isn't too interesting. Sorry, bud. All right, there you are. D tier. All right, Laurie. What do you got? Okay, she rubs her knees, looks around. She's definitely more engaged, not bored. A little nervous. Leans in, rubs her knees again. So she's kind of doing the Claudette, but it's a little more active, a little more involved. She's kind of always moving. So there's more to it than Claudette's. I don't know. I still don't like it a whole lot, so we're going to put it in C. Nothing too interesting yet. All right, next up we have Ace, who is also chosen to sit on the ground. Dust some stuff off his knee. I don't know why. The more I watch Ace, the more I grow to like him. I used to not like Ace at all, but now I think he's hilarious. Yeah, he just kind of looks around. It's a little more laid back, dusts some stuff off his knee. No, he flicks something off his knee and then dusts whatever he didn't flick off. I don't know if he's flicking a bug. We did establish last tier list that there are apparently bugs in the entity's realm. So maybe he flicks off a bug and flicked a little too hard and has to wipe its remnants off. I don't know. But all that to say, his is okay. We're going to put it in C tier. Hey, if you're enjoying the video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, would you please consider doing so and helping us get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year? That'd be awesome. Thanks. All right, now we have Feng Min, and she also has chosen to sit on the ground. She's got her arms crossed, just kind of rocking back and forth. She seems antsy, but not in a nervous sort of way. More in she's kind of bored too, same as Nia. But if you think about it, it makes sense for her lore because she finds the entity's realm a challenge and she relishes the challenge. And because of that, any downtime sitting around a campfire, she's probably like, I want to get on to the next trial. Come on, let's do this. Let's see, let's see what I can accomplish here. Kind of makes sense for her to look around bored, but also not be nervous at all. It is a confident posture. She's rocking back and forth. I don't know. It's nothing too interesting. Where did I put Nia? I put her in D. I'll put Feng in C. Yeah, I don't know. She's sitting on the ground, so it's automatically a little more interesting that way. Yeah, I just feel like it matches her lore well. So we'll put it in C. Next up, we have Quentin. Looks around, very alert. Then I think he starts to fall asleep, if I'm not mistaken. He's nodding off. I love it. Yeah, he's totally falling asleep. And then I love it. And then he looks around all alert, which if you didn't know in his lore, I believe he had been staying awake in order to not enter the dream world until he was ready to combat Freddy, if I'm not mistaken. I could have some of those bits. Anyways, all I know is he was awake for a very long time and then finally went to sleep to fight Freddy and got taken while he was in the dream world, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, like I said, on some of those details. But all that to say that it makes sense that he would be extremely tired by the time he got into the entity's realms. So all that said, not only is it kind of funny to me, but it really matches him perfectly, and there's a lot going on, and it just, yeah, it's endearing. So I'm actually going to put him, do I want to put him? I think his is hilarious. So I'm going to put him S. I love it. I love his campfire animation. I think it's really good. All right, next up we have Tapp. All right, so he kind of just sits here and warms his hands by the fire, but reaches in. That's definitely that's going to be a hot fire, so, and then goes back to sitting. I don't know, his is okay. It's more involved than some of the other D tier ones, but it's not hugely interesting to me, so I'm going to put it in C tier. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Right, next up we have Kate. She's kind of jamming out. She's bobbing her head, tapping her fingers a little bit. She's kind of chill, just in her posture. She doesn't seem super nervous. Yeah, she's just jamming out. I like it. Just looks around and jams out. Sorry, I'm cracking up again at Quentin. Yeah, I like hers. Hers is good. Where do I want to put it? I'm going to put it in B. I'm going to put it in B with the others. It's not super great, but it's good. I like that she's jamming out. She's got a song in her head. She's tapping along. Yep, I enjoy it. I like hers. All right, next up we have Adam Francis. He's very contemplative and looks around and goes back to being very thoughtful, which makes sense. I mean, he's a teacher. He's going to be kind of heady. And looks around again. Okay, his is, it's kind of boring, to be honest. I love Adam as a character. I love his lore. I love everything about him. His campfire animation, it's okay. It's not really good, to be honest. So I'm going to put him D tier. All right, next up we have Jeff. And to be honest, he sits exactly how I would imagine him sitting around a campfire. He scratches his leg a little bit. He's hunched over, leaning in, looking around. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's not super great. I'm going to put him in D tier with the others. I'm going to run out of space into the D tier again. That'll be 2 in a row. All right, going with Jane. Jane checks her nails. She's got great posture. She's pretty relaxed. Maybe a little more relaxed than I would have expected, but I mean, she's used to high pressure situations, so checks her nails again. So I think that's what she does. I don't know. It's okay. It's not great. She's got fantastic posture, I will say. She's got the best posture so far. I don't know. I'm going to put you C tier. It's interesting enough for me. It matches her character well. I think it's okay. We'll put it C tier. Now we have Ash. Kind of plays with his mechanical hand there. stretches. Cranes his neck a little bit. Yeah, that was a good stretch. It's interesting enough. I don't know. His is okay. I like his. I'll put his B. It's got enough going on there. He definitely seems relaxed, which makes sense because he's used to dealing with pretty awful situations, and he's just kind of chilling by the fire. Next up, we have Nancy Wheeler. She's kind of doing the Claudette thing so far. Just kind of looking cold and not quite as nervous. She seems a little more confident. Kind of like she is in the show. Goes back to crossing her arms. I don't know. That's not super interesting to me. Yeah. I don't know. I think she's going to be another D tier for me. All right, now we have Steve, and he's not even chosen to sit at all. He's standing, pretty relaxed, but, you know, foot up on the log and leaning into the fire, ready to go, looking around. Which, if you think about it, he's, you know, he's kind of a protector, and so it's kind of a good position to be ready and engaged for anything. I like him a lot. He's my favorite character in the show, and I think they did a good job of adapting him into Dead by Daylight, and this stance is perfect for him and exactly what I would expect if he was to stand around a campfire in the show. He'd be doing exactly this. So he's honestly probably one of my favorites so far. So I'm going to put him S tier. Easy S tier for me. Right, next up we have Yui, who is knelt by the fire. So we haven't seen that yet, I don't think. Okay, she kind of sits back. She's squatted now. Goes back to kneeling. She's very engaged, looking around. So she just alternates between squatting and kneeling in. So, I don't know. Hers is okay. It's interesting in that it's very unlike any of the others so far. So I'm going to put a B tier for that. But next up, we have Zarina. Who she also looks a little bored. Just resting her hand, or her chin on her hand. Looks behind her. She's got some... Okay, she like really looks into the woods. Kind of like her lobby animation. She moves around quite a bit. She looks kind of bored right now, but then something engages her and she's looking around and looks deep into the woods. So I don't know. I like hers. Hers has a lot of variation, similar to her lobby stance. And it's not great. I don't love it, but I'll put it a B tier. I feel good about that one. Right now we have Cheryl. She's very reminiscent of Claudette to me. In terms of, you know, just kind of crossing her arms, looking cold, looking around. She doesn't seem as nervous, which makes sense because she's seen a lot of crud herself. She's used to dealing with evil. I'm sorry, Quentin will never cease to crack me up. Every time he falls asleep, I love it. I don't know, hers is very boring to me though. It's fitting, but it's just, there's not a whole lot going on. So I think it has to be a D tier as well. You get to join the D tiers, I'm sorry. All right, next up we have Felix. So he's like shifting around quite a bit, like jolting his head back and forth, looking at something. Obviously something made a noise that made him react, I think. He just kind of shifts and moves around a little bit. He's got a more relaxed posture. It's a little engaged, kind of glances around quickly. I don't know, it's okay. I don't love it, but it's okay. It's worthy of C tier, I feel. So we'll go with that. All right, now we have Elodie. She does the whole chin on the hand thing too, looking quite bored, kind of engages a little bit. Is she looking around or was she stretching her neck? I can't quite tell. Goes back to being bored. She's definitely got a more relaxed posture. She matches a lot of the other bored ones. I don't know. Hers is okay. I'm not going to put a D tier, but it's C tier to me. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. All right, now we have Yun-Jin Lee. So it's very much like I would expect her to sit. Kind of rubs her leg a little bit, puts her hand on the log. Moves her foot around a little bit. So it's very ladylike. She too has very good posture. I don't know. It's okay. Again, it's not great, but it's okay. I'm going to put it C tier. Now we have Jill Valentine. She does not have as good posture. Just going to say. Kind of shifts her leg a little bit and sits forward again. I don't know. As much as I love Jill, she's one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. Her campfire animation is not very good. I don't know. It pains me, but it's kind of boring. So it's going to be a D tier. Sorry, Jill. All right, next up we have Leon. Okay, so he's like knelt down behind the log, similar to, okay, and stands up. He's heard something. He got alert. He's ready to fight. Looks around. Okay, now he's relaxed again. Kneels back down, but he's behind everyone. So kind of like a Steve. He's set back. He's kind of protecting the group, it looks like, which matches him perfectly. That's exactly how I'd expect him to be around a campfire in a situation like this. So I like his a lot. His is also S tier to me. It's great. All right, next up we have Mikaela, and she does the whole chin on the hand thing too, it looks like. She's actually kind of looking away from the camera. You only really see the back of her head right now. She just kind of sits there and rocks. Not a whole lot going on with her. Not a whole lot at all, actually, which is surprising for one of the later ones. Sorry, Mikaela. I think you're going to be another D tier. We are running out of D tier space. Hold on. We didn't need much S tier real estate this time. So, anyways. All right, next up we have Jonah's. He's got okay posture. Okay, he like kind of kneels in to tend the fire, sort of. Maybe. I don't know. And then sits back. Just kind of sits there. He doesn't even look around much. He's pretty much locked into that campfire area. So, I don't know. It's okay. I like the drastic change of him kneeling forward to tend to the campfire, but other than that, he does nothing else. So, I'm going to put him B tier. I'd like to put him higher because, like I said, I do like him kneeling in to tend to the campfire, but that's literally all he does. So, I don't know. I'll put him B tier because of that. All right, next up we have Yoichi. He also looks deep in thought. Glances around, goes back to being deep in thought. Huh. Is that all he does? It would appear that is exactly all he does. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. We're gonna have to put you D tier with the others. You just don't do very much. All right, and next up we have Haddie. Kind of sits back, glances around herself. Leans very far forward, so it's like she tries to sit close to the campfire at least and warm herself. But other than that, she just kind of sits there until she scoots back and looks around her. Yeah, that's about all she does. Okay, I don't know. This is not very interesting. I'm gonna put her also D tier. All right, we have Ada Wong, who also has incredibly good posture. Okay, she kind of looks up and alert and shifts her legs a little bit and back to leaning in. Okay, so she just kind of sits and shifts her posture a whole lot. Doesn't do too much. It's very Ada-esque. I would definitely, this is how I imagined Ada sitting. Very confident, very ready to go, good posture, shifting around a little bit, alert, whatnot. It's not super interesting, but she does do a little more than a lot of the others, so I'm gonna put, for the posture alone, we'll put her in B tier. Let's put it that way. It's also my Resident Evil bias, which you know I'm guilty of. But that being said, I don't know. I could also put her C tier easily. I wouldn't put her D tier because she's a little more active than a lot of the others, but I'll put her in B tier just because I do love her as a character. I will be unapologetically biased because of that. All right, getting down to the wire here, we have Rebecca sitting with her legs crossed, back up against the log. Just kind of stretches back, very relaxed. Just kind of her cheery, relaxed self in the middle of a very creepy place. She kind of looked up at the sky there and then stretches back again. So, I don't know. To be honest, I like her lobby animations a whole lot more. I really do like her campfire animation. I won't put it S tier, but she will be our first A tier. Here you were thinking we weren't going to have an A tier, but we do. Rebecca. I don't know. It's not quite S tier to me, but I do really like it. Hers is one of my favorites, so she'll be A tier. We have our newest survivor, Vittorio. Kind of scratches his neck, and he is the most laid back one so far. Sitting on the ground, leaned up against the log, super relaxed, kind of adjusts himself a little bit, scratches his beard. Yeah, Vittorio, I think his is great. I don't know if I quite put it S tier. I'm going to put him A tier. I think it's very good. He's very confident, relaxed, which if you think, I'm going to put him A tier. Makes a ton of sense because he's been wandering the realms for hundreds of years. So he's very used to where he is now. I think it's perfect for him. Very relaxed, very just confident in himself and where he is, and just chilling by the campfire. he knows how this goes. So before any of you ask me down in the comments about the legendary skins, I did test a few of them that I did own, and they appear to have the exact same lobby animation as the original character. So, I mean, it's going to rank in the same spot that I would put the others anyway, because it's the same animation. Now, that being said, I don't own all of them. So if there are some that do change their Campfire animations, let me know down in the comments. I'll go look it up and let you know where I would tier list them. All right, and so those are my rankings for the Survivor lobby animations. Let me know down in the comments, where would you agree with me? Where would you disagree? Who are your favorites, least favorites, etc. If you enjoyed this video, would you hit that like button and let me know? And as always, you are awesome. Stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.